Hi everybody!
Hi!
We are Die Singphoniker, vocal ensemble from Munich, and we're here to debunk some common misconceptions and stereotypes about romantic music. No, the term romantic music doesn't refer to romanticism as between two people, but to the period in time when it was composed. Before, there was the classical era with Mozart and his fellows. Before that, there was the Baroque era with perhaps Johann Sebastian Bach as one of the most prominent names. And the Romantic period was roughly between 1820 and 1900. So there was a lot of music written then, and it's not only choral or vocal music.
It was the time when the music came into the households also. So everyone started to make music.
A lot of sacred music from this era. So that's not only about love, of course.
But the sense of the romanticism is also kind of longing.
Yeah.
The longing is a very big part of the romanticism. Longing for the nature, longing for music, longing for love, but also longing for death and what comes afterwards.
It's all about the human condition. True.
That's true.
Yes, that's actually true. The Romantic period took mostly place in Central and Western Europe. A big part of the Romantic music was actually composed in the German-speaking part of Europe, in Germany and Austria. But there were also really vast movements in the Romantic period in France or in Italy, especially.
Famous composers from that time period were, for example, Franz Schubert and Ludwig van Beethoven and Joseph Gabriel Rheinberger were all very important in our repertoire.
These were only the German composers. There were as well some from France or Poland or
Italy.
Italy, of course.
False.
Nope.
They definitely do not sound the same. Classical music is, in general, a little softer than romantic music. So the orchestras were smaller, and in the Romantic period, the orchestras grew a lot. So you had a lot more strings and you had big brass sections, and that made changes in the way people sang. The choirs had to be stronger, the soloists had to be stronger. Often you had bigger orchestras, bigger choirs, and very big and great concert halls as well.
False.
That's false. Romantic music can be accessible to everybody, not only people who have studied music or who have close connections to music since an early age. A lot of romantic music is really easy to listen to because the melodies and the harmonies are really going straight to the heart.
What makes romantic music also very accessible is the fact that our modern film music is inspired a lot by romantic music. So, for example, John Williams or Hans Zimmer or all of these big names has a lot of the time very big and romantic orchestras, and that is something that has inspired them. So I think a lot of you actually know the romantic sound and the romantic orchestra or choir sound, even if you have never really
Been to a
romantic concert or listened to a symphony, but you know the sound and you know that it touches you.
Even if you haven't had much connection to classical music up until now, we'd like to explain some of the terms that might help you understand the music better.
Legato means that you just try to sing the notes very close together, just that the main thing in the singing is the phrase.
It's all about connecting the notes so the sound never stops. Tenor, baritone and bass, you can see sitting here. We even have a countertenor. A countertenor is a male voice that sings as high as a female voice. And he does that with his head voice. So if you think of the voice as of different registers, so you have a resonance that is up here in the head space, and you have a resonance that is here in the chest. And Johannes mostly almost uses his head voice and sings very, very high notes. The tenors in the male voice spectrum, as us two, are the higher male voices. We always also use our head voices, but we also try to mix in some of the chest voice depending on what we're trying to sing. The baritones and basses are the lower male voices, and the baritones are perhaps in between the tenors and the basses. So Marlo has to have a very, very wide range of notes. So he can sing really high, almost as high as me, I think. And he can sing fairly low, almost as low as Florian.
That's
And
almost. It's always almost. You know?
It's almost. And Florian here, he's our bass. And the bass is always the foundation of a sound. So he has really resonant, really nice big low notes to support all the sound of the whole ensemble.
We are a male ensemble, but there are also, of course, female voices. And in classical music, you have sopranos, mezzo-sopranos, and altos. And the soprano is the highest voice, and the alto is the lowest voice.
So
no.
not true.
Not true. Not true.
Our programs are oftentimes mixed and varied. We love to sing romantic music and try to get a fresh approach to it every time we sing it. As we see from the audience's reactions, it goes straight to the heart. And sometimes even the pop tunes that we sing cannot do that this way.
Romantic music can't be boring for the audience also because, as we mentioned, it was written out of emotions, and the emotions haven't changed in the last 100 years.
I hope you guys learned a lot from us today.
And a fun fact about romantic music is it's fun. It's wonderful to sing, it's wonderful to enjoy, and it's just great and lovely to perform. And that's true.
That's true.
Den Sieger, der alles in Liebe bezwang. Den Sieger, der alles in Liebe bezwang. Der Winter bedroht ihn mit schauriger Kälte. Der Sommer